Hey, Amy, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Fantastic, if I can even talk correctly here. So what happened? What's going on?
I have no idea. My husband just texted me and he's like, "Hey, you're on page 2." And I'm like, "What?" So I checked my SEO thing and there it was, bumped up to 18 now from 31 or 32.
Yeah, yeah. So you went from like, where were you at the beginning when you first started tracking? Do you remember?
So I don't remember when I first started tracking, but a few weeks ago, I guess end of November, I don't so the first time I checked was with that SEO app
Right.
he had us download and I was 86.
Okay. That was when you first started using the app.
Yeah. And that was
Okay.
after I'd already done a bunch of stuff.
So you were probably even further back at some point.
Yeah.
And then
Oh
when
yeah.
yeah, so when you posted the other day in the group, it was you had went up to number 31 from at least, and I can't see the keyword, but one of the keywords, it was you went up to spot 31 from, but you went up 62 spots to spot 31. That's what I'm trying to say. So that, if my math hasn't failed me at this age, that would be spot number 93.
Yeah. That sounds, yeah.
So, and that was just, and you had done stuff before you started tracking. So you were actually probably further back.
Yeah. Definitely.
Um, I haven't checked it myself yet, so I want to go look at it here. So I'll screen share. I just want to verify it. I want to like double verify.
Yeah.
But I believe you. I believe you. But I like to see it with my own eyes here.
Yes.
Let's see. So was it which keyword was it? Charleston wedding
Uh,
photographer?
Wedding photographers in Charleston.
Wedding photographers in Charleston. All right. Gonna do the scroll.
Yeah. Trust but verify.
Okay, so that's page one so far. Let's go on to page two, which is where we think you are. And then, uh-oh, look who I see. Bam, right there on the second page.
Hey, hey.
So how you are, congratulations, huge congratulations in order. And the thing is, like, you have went up like crazy in no time here, right? So like, it's gonna be no time before you hit the first page of Google. Like, I have no doubt about it.
Okay.
Um, how long ago did you start working on your site with Easy SEO?
I'm just over a month.
Okay, here I'll get her exact day because I like kind of celebrating these things a little bit because it's like
Yeah.
it's
It
exciting. Like,
might have been a month today.
okay, I can actually see the exact date that you joined here. So let me pull it up. Amy, let's see, November 10th.
Oh, okay. A month
So
and 2
that
days.
was let's see, November 10th. So one, two, three, four. So that's 28. So I think we're at like is that week 5 technically that we're getting ready to go into?
I think
But you
so.
you've done this over the holidays too, right? Like, have you
Yeah.
been working on this over the holiday?
Yeah.
You didn't work on it on Thanksgiving, did you?
No. Um, I don't think
You don't have
so.
to answer that.
We stayed in. We stayed in. It's kind of
Yeah.
like if I have time, I'm working on it.
Well,
So,
and I think when you first started this, when you first started working on it, you were still sick from COVID,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, okay, so I like when I kind of jump on, we talk about some of your like results here. I like to ask, can I keep the name easy SEO? Has it been easy yet?
It's super
So far?
easy.
Okay, it's been
It's been
super
great.
easy, super easy, not just
It's
easy,
been,
super easy.
yeah, it's really SEO freaked me out, which is why I never bothered doing it,
Yeah,
honestly. Um, and then it was just kind of one of those where it's like, man, I don't want to do this, but I guess we have nothing else to try at this point. So I guess SEO is important. Everybody talks about it. So,
right, right.
so yeah. And I'm good grief. Yeah, it's been perfect.
So, and I mean, I think from when we first talked, like your big thing was you're moving to Charleston, right? Was that
Right.
so? It was like Charleston is a new area for you. You haven't lived Are you living?
Right.
You're living in Charleston now, right? I'm trying to remember if you had like just moved or you're about to move.
We're about to move. We're
Okay.
moving on January 22nd.
So you're on the second page of Google for Charleston wedding, like wedding, Charleston wedding photographer related keywords.
Yeah.
You do not live there.
Right.
It's pretty cool, huh?
Phenomenal.
But you're moving there, and now you're going to have that extra visibility.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is great. Do you care if I share this? Like, if
No,
I
go
share it, like,
ahead.
kind of, because I kind of like, there's people that are either were or are kind of in the same spot that you were, and they're like kind of even saying the stuff like, SEO, like it stresses me out. Like, I don't really know the next step. So being able to show this kind of stuff to people it sometimes is like, okay, I'm finally just going to step into it. And there's a lot of people, I mean, there's all kinds of people that are like, oh, does it really work? So if you were to either talk to yourself, about a month ago,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like when you were thinking about reaching out to me, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of talking to yourself then, what would you say to yourself?
Oh man. I would say, well, first thing I would say is a big old take that to my husband and say, aren't you glad we paid the money? Because he didn't want to do the money part, which you already know about. We already had that conversation,
Yeah.
but worth it.
Yeah.
And I would just say, there's probably a reason why it's called easy SEO.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would say to that person. I just tell her to get over it and do it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think, and basically what I did tell myself back then too was, I'm sitting here and there's no momentum.
Yeah.
So if I've done everything that I want to do and there's no momentum, and I know that there's stuff that I don't want to do that could get me traction and momentum, it's time to start doing the stuff that I don't want to do or that doesn't excite me.
Yeah.
And that was definitely the SEO, just because it was overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing what I do now, I would go back and tell that past me, it's really not that overwhelming. And it's actually pretty simple. And it's, it clearly works. So
yes. Now, what do you think? And that's very well said, by the way. So perfect. But what do you think has taken you from this is overwhelming to being excited about it and seeing these huge results?
Oh man. And excitement about it is a good word too, because like I'm going in now with like the Yoast stuff and I'm not satisfied with seeing any orange. Like I want to see green for everything. And, I'm dreaming about my keywords and my paragraphs that support my headers. And it's exciting now that I understand it more. I think what has helped is, just the breakdown, like of how it was very, you had it very simply broken down, so that, because I'm one of those people where I can't just like, you can't tell me how to do something, or I can't just read how to do something. Like I like that it was like set up, like I'm actually going to help walk you through this. So one of the mastermind things to be watching those, and then to be on there, and to how you actually like, we're gonna do this now. Yeah. It's not going to be like, I'll send you this thing. We're going to sit here and we're going to do it now. We're going to get figured out. And then I like that the videos were like that too. So it made like, it took any of the guesswork out of it all. So I didn't have to just assume that I knew what I was interpreting from reading something or hearing something, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. I mean, it sounds like, SEO before, because you didn't have a framework or kind of a step-by-step guide, plus that extra level of hand holding where it's like, okay, here's exactly what we're going to do. And not only that, but let's actually now do that. Yes. And if we encounter some issues, like, let's work on that together.
Yep.
Like that's made it to where it's like, and I like to ask this, and there's no right or wrong answer, but do you feel like an SEO expert? Like if you were to see yourself, 5-6 weeks ago, would you now say, oh, Amy is an SEO expert?
I wouldn't say an expert.
Mhm.
No. Um,
Good. That's the right answer, even though there wasn't a right answer.
I still like, I mean, even I think yesterday, like I shut my computer and I told my, no, it was after the mastermind on Friday. I shut the computer and I told my husband, I'm like, this is what I need, someone to hold my hand. And I said, hold my hand and walk me through this because I have no idea.
Yep.
So I would say I have a better understanding, obviously,
Right.
but as far as expert,
Yeah.
no,
Like you
I'm
haven't
still,
had to go
I'm on
ahead.
the bunny hill.
Yeah. But you're on the second page of Google in like 4 or 5 weeks
Yeah.
without having to become an expert.
Right. Yeah.
Do you feel like a lot of what you've worked on is going to give you other benefits besides just ranking?
Yeah. Actually, yes, because there's other things that we've had ideas for outside of even photography that we're implementing
Okay.
the same stuff for. So, yeah, absolutely.
I'm assuming we'll probably talk more about that at some point, right?
Probably.
Okay. Cool. Well, I kind of wanted to pull up your website. I know we've done this a bunch, but I kind of wanted to pull up real quick just because, um, like your website doesn't look a whole lot different. And I wish I had your website before you started implementing changes. It doesn't look a whole lot different now,
Mm-mm.
right? I mean, your aesthetic has basically remained the same, but you've made a lot of shifts, right?
Right. Yeah,
Um,
just trying to reposition some stuff based on like what you had talked about.
do you think that the way that your website is set up now, do you feel that it's going to help the people that are visiting to connect more with you and your brand?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was told that by one of our grooms that because when they had first contacted, they got my name from somebody. They contacted me. They wanted to talk wedding pricing and everything.
Right.
And I basically I like to redirect people to our website. Look at everything. Here's our pricing. We like to meet with people first and explain like our process of everything. We want to make sure there's the connection there. We want to make sure like we're a good fit personality wise, and things like that. And so I went through and I emailed him all this stuff back. And then once he looked at the website and like really sat down and looked through everything, and he's like, okay, like I understand your email more now because looking through the website, like you're very like, it's a personable thing.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't just like, hey, we take pretty pictures and hire us. It was um, like you care about what you're doing type of a thing. And I feel like that has been translated more in the way that the website's been redone. Like, I mean, because the information was there, um, but you had to go and really look for it, like it didn't, it makes more sense now. It's a lot, it just makes it easier to navigate through. And then the blog post ideas like you had, I think people love that,
Yes.
because it shows I care about them, which that was always what I wanted to get across is, caring about them and their wedding. So
Yep.
yeah.
So do you think this is, especially now moving into the market in Charleston, which is brand new for you, do
Hmm.
you think that's going to help you stand out a lot more?
Yeah. Hands down.
Awesome. Well, perfect. Anything else you want to add?
I don't think so.
That's a
I
lot.
wish
I
I
mean,
would have done this back in July when I first reached out.
did you reach out to me in July?
I did. Somebody
Okay.
posted on the contacts group in Facebook about SEO. And I thought, oh, I'm going to read these stinking comments because I hate SEO and everything that goes with it. And everybody was saying Jeff Armstrong, and like all the way down. And so I commented on it or something, or I messaged you, and you messaged me right away, and you're like, hey, here's a video and like a link or podcast and everything, and you sent me that information, and then you followed up, and I'm just kind of like, I don't want to do SEO. I don't want it. And I just fought it. Now it's just like, my word. But it was literally easy. So
Yeah. It's like pulling off, or not even like pulling off a Band-Aid. I don't know, like pulling out a splinter, you know, like easy, quick,
and
feels so much better just to do it.
yeah,
And there's a lot of positive benefits. So that's not a perfect analogy, but I'm really excited for you. And like, I love your work. You've got gorgeous work.
thank you.
You know, your website coming into it was beautiful, and seeing you now where you've made these tweaks and you've created such a user experience, and also you're ranking like
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's just, I know how this works. I'm fully confident here in no time you're going to just keep ranking better and better and better. So huge thumbs up. You deserve like a huge congratulations, because you have put in the work, right? Like
Yeah. Oh
you
yeah.
went through the stuff, you've done the stuff, you've shown up. And so like, you know, you deserve a huge hand clap. So thank you for being the best part of Easy SEO. And I can't wait to see you
Thank
rank
you.
more and more.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Super
Awesome.
exciting.
All right, Amy, I'll see
All
you
right.
soon. Okay. Thanks for jumping
Okay.
on here with me.
Sounds good. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for all your help. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right. See you,
All right.
Amy.
See ya.
Bye.